Hey guys, it's your mom here, and as promised, I am going to video cooking my famous chicken and rice tonight. You are going to need a pretty large pan for this recipe. I use my big skillet that's a little taller. Definitely gonna need a lid as well. And all of your ingredients are right here. I take 2 to 3 chicken breasts, cut them up in chunks. You can kind of see about that size, or however size you want it. You're going to need salt and pepper and garlic powder or garlic salt, 1 stick of butter, any kind of rice. I use the long grain, but you can use the instant as well. I don't think it actually really matters. You're going to need 1 can of cream of chicken soup and 1 onion. Okay, at this point, Chase, I know that you don't want onions, so just skip the onion part. Okay, so the next step is that you're going to actually cut your butter about in half, like so. And then you're going to take your onion and you're going to chop it up into small pieces. And your onions are automatically chopped into smaller. All right, so now the hard part is over. You're going to take half of that stick of butter and you're going to put it in the pan, turn it to a little low medium, somewhere in there. Get that butter melted and pour in your onion. Okay, so next, after a few minutes, you can see your butter's melted, your onions are getting nice and soft. So this is the perfect time to add your chicken. So I just put all of that chopped up chicken breast in there. And just kind of smush it around in there with the onion that's cooking. That'll give it a nice, good flavor to the chicken. At this point, you're just gonna let that chicken and onion just keep on cooking. I mean, you can see the chicken's starting to get done, but I don't do anything else until my chicken is good and done, just to make sure that, you know, don't want to give anybody food poisoning or anything like that. Okay, so are you ready for the fun part now? Here comes the part where I've changed it, and this is what makes it so good. So I have the other half of my stick of butter, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. Get that good and melted. The chicken looks done. It's starting to brown in a few places, so I know that's good. And I'm just gonna get that butter kind of melted down a little bit. And then I'm going to, before I add anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and add my rice. So the secret with rice is whatever container you use to measure your rice, use that same container to measure your water. So I have 1 cup of rice here, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in there dry. Okay, and now I have my 2nd cup of rice, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour my 2nd cup of rice in there. I usually just do 2. But you can always add another. Then after you let it sit for a minute, you can start scraping the bottom of the pan, and you can see how that rice is browning a little bit on the bottom. So I'm just gonna stir it real good. Okay, so you do want to not let it go too long. You want to stir it frequently, because brown rice is a good thing, but burnt rice is not. So when you start running out of butter where there's no moisture left in the bottom of the pan, that means that you've probably got all of the browning you're going to get. But you can see it's turned like a nice brown color now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the exact amount of water that I added of rice. So I had 2 of these containers of rice, so I'm going to do 2 containers of water. temperature on, you know, about medium. It's boiling pretty rapidly and it looks really soupy, but that's good because that means that that rice is gonna suck up all of that water. So then last, I'm going to add my can of cream of chicken soup. Oh, wow. Maybe not make such a mess. Okay, so now everything's stirred in really well, and I am going to turn it down to low. All the way to low. And then I'm going to put my lid on it, and I am just going to let it cook. Okay, so it's been cooking about 5 minutes now. And so just a few times while it's cooking, you can see it's even still boiling, even though I have it on low. And about every few minutes, I'll just go in and just give it a good stir. Eventually, it will stop boiling. Okay, here we are. It's been about 15 minutes. And you can see that the rice has sucked up almost all of the water and the soup that we put in there. And it's turning a nice shade of brown, which is exactly what you want. So again, I just give it a good stir. And at this point, I usually test the rice to see if it's done. But then I just kind of, basically I taste test it. What you're looking for is that the rice is just done all the way. If it's a little crunchier than you like or just firmer than you'd like, as mine is, because it probably needs about 5 more minutes, then I take about that same measuring cup we used before, about half or so of what I used before, and I kind of just add it over the rice. I like mine a little bit moister. If you don't like it that way, then you can just add less water. I just pour it over the top, put the lid back on, and I'll give it about another 5 minutes and check it again. All right, it's been another 5 minutes. So we are going to see if it's ready. So you can see it's soaked up that last little bit of water I put in there. So this rice should be cooked to perfection. And that's about how it's supposed to look, guys. And at this point, I just turn it off, and I will just kind of let it rest for a few minutes before I eat it, because basically if you eat it now, you're going to burn the roof of your mouth. So, all right, I hope that y'all turns out just as good as mine does, and enjoy. I love you.